I was in that property for about 6 to 8 months, and got to really enjoy it. Had a great summer, and was really enjoying work, and everything was sort of going along swimmingly, so to speak. And then one Tuesday morning night after a long weekend, I was riding my motorbike between the truck and the office caravan where I did all my office work. Just got distracted by some headlights and run a little bit wide on the second to last corner, 500 metres from home. So unfortunately got tangled in a wire fence and dislocated my T12 vertebrae and became a paraplegic instantly.
Wow. Right. So, wow.
Yeah.
So what time, how long ago was this, Jonti?
It was 2.5 years ago. It was April 22. And knew instantly that I felt a crunch or a click or something, couldn't move my legs, couldn't really feel them. So,
Changes everything, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So, got rushed to Westmead Hospital, had a T11 to L1 fusion and spent 3 weeks there, then went 3 months in Royal North Shore Hospital, the spinal unit, and then 3 months at Royal Rehab in their spinal unit before being discharged home about 6 months post accident.
Wow. So what does that 6 months look like, Jonti? You've got a business, you've got a dream house, you've got properties that are going on. How do you manage like all of your focus and energy goes towards your health, but there's complexity in your world as well that needs to be managed.
Yeah, definitely. It was probably 2 or 3 weeks. It was definitely by the third week I was sort of making phone calls back, sort of doing invoices, working with social workers and CTP who picked up the loss of income aspect of my accident and loss of capacity to earn an income. So, by week 3, I was sort of on my laptop in hospital and starting to sit up, and I started to get a little bit of movement back in my legs. Was able to sort of, again, stay quite motivated and driven and like I wasn't getting too down in the dumps, and I remained very hopeful. Started doing research on what might be possible, whether it's stem cells or some sort of recovery. So I've always sort of had some light at the end of the tunnel to look forward.
So you're 500 meters away from your home. You, by the sounds of it, your front tire, it hits the white line on the outside of the road, and bang, that's it, drops, flips you. It's a classic motorbike accident in that respects. Yep. But of course, there's no protection around you. You have that event. Now that's for a long weekend. You've probably got jobs on the next day. That the next week's things are booked out for your cement pumping business. Is that still what you're doing at that time?
Yeah. So
you're still running your business? Yep.
Yeah, we're still running the business. I can't remember if it was with my brother or had some close friends that were able to sort of step up and jump in and run the truck in those early days while I was in
Wonderful.
here. And then my employee as well was able to step up, who I'd sort of trained how to operate, and he was able to sort of take over and start running the truck in my absence.
So fortunately, to your point, you're sitting up in your laptop and invoicing. That means the business is still going, because obviously, you've got what's the sort of debt level that you've got, sort of global exposure of debt around that time in 2022? What sort of numbers are you sort of having to deal with?
I believe residentially, I was probably in about 2.5 of property debt.
Yep.
And then the truck probably still had another 2 or 3 years of repayments at about 12,000 a month, plus wages and all the rest of it. So I had a lot of outgoings, and was lucky enough that I had some great friends and people around me to help facilitate all that.
100%. And then what happened? Did your income protection kick in, or what sort of?
Yeah, got 6 months loss of income through CTP.
Yeah.
And then also
third party. Yeah.
And then also Got a open case with workers' comp, just running in the background as well.
Did your super have any income protection or trauma or TPD in it?
It did. And yeah, quite early on in my working career in Australia, I was like, what's this $30 a month doing? It's just a waste of money. I'm never going to need this. And
Oh,
unfortunately cancelled my superannuations insurance.
mhm.
So, yeah.
Now, so
I've
so
been
so that was the total and permanent disability insurance, or was it the income protection, or combination of two?
with all of it, yeah.
So,
Mate,
Jonti,
yeah, there's a lesson there.
yeah,
Like,
there's obviously some defence there that I mean, you'd probably caution folks now, Jonti, given
Yeah.
the enormity of that impact in your life. That we talk about it as being something you hope you never call on, but
Yeah.
it's an asset to your business. What adjustments and pivots and did you need to make that work for you? And what does it look like now?
yeah, so I guess straight out of hospital, the most important thing with me was to get back my driving and independence. Being now a wheelchair user was super important. So yeah, got my own vehicle modified for some hand controls. Then I was able to get myself to physio, and by this stage I had a lot more leg movement. I also had a 2500 Silverado. Made the right decision to sell that, downsize. I didn't need to be driving a yank tank in a wheelchair. Then went through a breakup. So the beginning of 23 was pretty tough.
Yeah.
And yeah, concentrated on rehab and started playing a whole bunch of sports. I think I've played nearly a dozen adaptive sports in the past sort of 2.5 years. So
Right.
yeah, it's been sort of like a huge adjustment, but met some amazing people and love to sort of be a little bit of an advocate and share my story. So I'm doing everything I can now to keep the big rocks in the jar, not have to sell any property. I've got 3 flatmates in. Luckily, they pay $350 each per room, so that's about $1,100 a week. That's offsetting the mortgage.
Yeah, great.
To help keep that property for now. And yeah, so the next plan of attack for me is do I become a Paralympian or do I join the workforce and continue growing this portfolio?